Delta State Governor Sheriff Oboriwori has called on candidates of the opposition parties in the state governorship election to team up with him to develop the state. Recall that the Supreme Court on Friday affirmed Oboriwori as the duly elected governor of Delta State, dismissing the appeals of the opposition parties, saying the appeals were lacking in merit. But speaking shortly after the judgment in Abuja, the governor said there was no winner or loser in the election and said his administration will continue to serve all Deltans with renewed vigor and commitment. Governor Sheriff Oboriwori also said he has survived 38 cases in various courts up to the Supreme Court from pre-election to post-election matters to become governor of Delta State, thus thanking God and dedicating the victory to the good people of Delta State. He said he was happy that the litigations were over, assuring that he will now concentrate in delivery on his agenda for the people. As much as all Deltans and the opposition has come to congratulate him, the challenge of moving Delta to the place of prominence in the Committee of State is now what the citizens of the state is looking up to Mr. Governor to do. With more to be done in the area of infrastructure and health to that of education and robust economy, the challenge facing Mr. Governor is much, and his ability to deliver will determine the trust Deltans will have in his ability to move the state forward. Hence the need for us to talk about it on the big story for today. And that is time for governance with litigations over. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today. It's time for governance in Delta State after the litigations are all over. Well, that's what we're looking at, especially judging by the remarks coming from no other but the governor of Delta State, His Excellency Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, when he said he feels it's now time that Deltans should enjoy more from his more agenda. But to help us talk more about this is no other person but the executive assistant to the governor on political matters, and we're talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Deltans.
Well, anyway, indeed, it was a hard-fought fight and a victory from the tribunal up to the Supreme Court. And judging with his statement that he had almost 38 cases, pre-election to post-election, and well, he's just happy that the litigations are over. Now, we will also want to say that he said there was no winner or loser in these just concluded elections and the issues up to the Supreme Court. But the question still remains, is the victory for really all Deltans?
Yes, it is for all Deltans. Well, he is the governor of the state. But let's go beyond that.
Beyond?
Beyond that.
Okay.
It's certainly victory for him as the governor, as a major beneficiary of the court decision, the court judgment. The PDP, as a party, is also a major beneficiary of that judgment.
Of course.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm a major. But even the opposition, as it is in Delta State, before the judgment, after the judgment, the opposition itself is a major beneficiary of that court judgment. APC is very factious in Delta State. And they played a lot of toxic campaign during the electioneering process. And they are heavily fractionized. Now, a group that has the jugular vein of the party in Delta State has lost. Now APC can breathe very well. I, as a member of the ruling party, you will expect me to say that opposition should die, but that's not for democracy. Democracy survives on a minimum of two parties.
A vibrant opposition.
And the ruling party. A vibrant opposition keeps the ruling party on its toes. Unless we want autocracy, and that's not what we want. Democracy is about people competing among themselves fairly
to give the best to the people.
to the people. So we don't want opposition to die. But the way APC was being run, where there is a very powerful faction elsewhere,
we'll leave their faction for them, like you said.
So they benefit. The losing party benefits in the sense that now they can go home and settle themselves and re-strategize on how to win. So to that extent, they also benefited from the judgment. So everybody is a winner, so to say. Everybody is a winner.
Okay, now, I'll just rather go to what he said, because that's the basics also of our discussion today. He called on the opposition specifically. He called on the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Senator Ovie Omagege, and also Dikin Kempela of the Labour Party, as much as he also called on Kenneth Gbagi of the SDP, who, funny enough, was also a former party man to him. And he told them to join hands with him to move the state forward. But the question is, would he really be ready to accommodate ideas and persons from the opposition if they are willing to give him this? Because the bitterness of election is when the winner wins, he seems to take all and have little or nothing for the opposition to also have. And we do understand how politics is also the bitterness of politics in Delta State. That when the opposition is not in power, they seem to suffer. And not only that, areas that voted for the opposition are given the red eye. They seem to be neglected from the charms and the gains of democracy. So my question is, are we going to see a different approach to it this time?
Listen, PDP did not win Urie in the Guba election.
Yes.
But Urie is having two flyovers. Is that not so? So that belies the statement made that position gets nothing. Ugele, we didn't win Ugele. Ugele no. We did not win Ugele no. The flyover is over there now that is being built. Abba. No. This government is about the good of every Delta. Whether you participated in the opposition camp or not, you are a Delta. And so you're going to benefit from it all. But I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Giving political appointments to opposition. It's not played that way now. It's not done anywhere in the world that way. We have enough capable hands in PDP to man relevant positions in government. If there is area of advice, of course.
But what if we have people of capacity that can also deliver? Would your government or this government not be open to have these persons, maybe not basically as commissioners, but board of parastatals that can also deliver? Is it not all about improving the lives of Delta?
We have enough capable hands. It's where you don't have capable hands that you go borrowing other people's hands. We have enough capable hands in PDP, in Delta State.
But we are going to see more robust democratic spread.
It is not
of
the
dividend.
position. It is not the position that you hold that matters. It's the spread of the dividend. I've just told you we did not win Ubie, did we?
No.
But the first projects that the governor started are in Ubie. We didn't win Ugale North. Ugale North is look at the road that is being touched now by the Palace Road, isn't it?
Yes.
That's in Ugale. Did we win Ugale? We didn't win in Ugale. It's the dividend. When a road is constructed, it's not only PDP people that pass through it. It's every Delta. When a school is open, it's not open for only PDP candidates. When a hospital is set up, nobody asks you, are you PDP before you are treated? Okay. It's the dividend we are talking about, not the people who provide the dividend. The people who provide the dividend should be different from the dividend, the receivers of the dividend.
Okay, now, well said. I still would rather remain with the issue of politics, knowing you are the executive director, assistant, to the governor on political issues. And the state seems to be highly divided among party lines. And many will say that the first major step by this administration is to see how they can mend fences. Bring everybody under one roof. Not necessarily under the umbrella, though. but under one roof for that division not to exist. Hence, with that on ground, development will definitely come. So will this administration be open to mending the fences, bringing everybody after a very hard-fought election, many would say even a bitter one, looking at the toxic words you said were initially used during the whole campaign? So how much or how ready is this administration in mending the fences and bringing everybody under one roof, irrespective of the political divide?
You see, there is a job for government. And there is also a job for the political party.
Yes.
The party is run. The party is run by the executive of the party.
Of course.
While government is run by the executives of the government. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Mending faces, recruiting people, making friends across the divide has been ongoing. Look, nearly 90% of people in APC
Well, formerly from the PDP.
From PDP. We are friends. So, issue of mending friends is, did we box? Did we kill each other? Did we stab each other? All that happened were in talks. What we say in the mouth. Finish.
So it's not going to be a difficult thing to achieve.
So when you say there is a division, there is no polarity. There is no polarity. When people lose, they are bound to be unhappy.
Of course.
And when people win, they are bound to be very joyful. They spray powder on their neck. I understood they spray powder on your neck too.
Well, let's leave that victory dance, but still remain with the issue.
So there is no polarization, so to say.
Okay.
There are no serious. There is no polarization at all. Nobody was stabbed. Nobody was killed. No. So there is no issue of.
Have your party reached out to the opposition already, sir?
You see.
Or rather, this administration. Yeah, we heard Governor Sharif said he's extending them to the olive branch, telling them to come. It's not a matter of who won or who lost, but rather Delta as the winner.
We have stretched our hand.
Okay.
It's left for them to take the hand. We can't force them to take the hand. But it will take time. There are those who have invested heavily in the opposition party.
Yeah.
There are those who sponsored a lot of things in the opposition party. All that gone, evaporated overnight. They're not going to be very happy.
Okay.
They're not. It's going to take time for them to get adjusted to this situation. Much again depends on the leadership of the opposition.
Okay.
How well they open themselves to receiving the entreaties of PDP and of the PDP government and of PDP party. And also depends on what they are looking for. You don't come from opposition and you want to be chairman of our party. That won't happen now. You don't work assiduously against us, and then you want to come and be chairman of a ward. That won't happen now. People worked.
Yeah.
People worked. But most importantly, are they willing to decamp to us? But if you want to play in the PDP camp, then you must be a member of PDP. You must be a member. You can't be in PDP and, you can't be in APC and be working in PDP.
You talked about a viable opposition as also one of the major branch in development as it concerns democracy. Would this administration be open to positive criticism coming from the opposition?
Look, there is a special advisor on inter-party affairs.
Yes.
The job of that office is to bring in opposition, the ideas of opposition, mend fences. Are you follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bring relationship up.
Okay.
So that happens. There are various organs of government,
Of course.
that are for peace and conflict reconciliation.
Yeah.
It is not a PDP affair.
Okay.
For instance, the conflict between Alaja and Ogbejo is not a PDP APC affair.
Well, it has been an age-long
Yes.
conflict.
So resolving that kind of a crisis, for example, will require bringing everybody together,
irrespective
of political affiliation. So in such situation, there are rooms for party interaction.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'll plead with you because we need to go on a break now. And when we come back, we'll continue our discussion. And we're talking about, in case you're joining us, we're looking at, well, anyway, the litigations are over. And Friday was that very last day. We got the verdict from the Supreme Court affirming the victory of no other but His Excellency, Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, as the duly elected governor of the state. But the question now still remains, what next? Especially as Deltans look for a change of narrative as it concerns some major, and that's why we're looking. But as much as we're looking at that, we're also looking at how we can really strengthen that great bond. Delta State will always smile. They haven't during elections, no life are always lost. They quarrel, unlike some other states that have serious, bitter elections, that even persons are lost on account of being in a separate political party. But Delta State over the years seems to, well, do away with all of that. But how can they mend fences to bring the opposition into it, as much as the governor himself have extended the olive branch and saying it's now time we should forget our political divide and rather be one. But we'll come back, have more discussion on what Deltans will be expecting, especially as it concerns governance.